Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this patch video for Thief Lord from the website Royal Road. This patch video will contain chapters 49 and 50, and as always I hope that you enjoy, and if you do, please consider subscribing. Chapter 49, A New Path. My lungs deflate as I stare emptily at the ring in my hand. Really, it is an insanely powerful item, one that I'll most likely keep for as long as I play the game, but I just can't help but feel disappointed. The whole reason I went through this quest was because I needed a special ability to help me defeat the Plaguebringer. It may have been naive of me to think this game would offer me such a convenient way to overcome my troubles, but the timing of the quest also felt too perfect. I suppose it's my own fault for treating this too much like a single-player game, where there is always a readily accessible solution within reach. The reality, however, is always a little harsher. I really thought that this would be the answer. I sigh. So, what would the play be from here? I sort of pull all my eggs into the Hail Mary basket in this one. There are several things that I could attempt, of course, but none of them have a high chance of succeeding. Fighting the Plaguebringer is certain death sentence, and I don't really have high hopes of baiting him into a trap. Not even 10 times overcharged DoD trap would be able to create a noticeable dent in such a high-level character's health bar. My only realistic option is to solve this problem is either stick my head in the sand and allow this guy to murder half the NPCs in the city, or tell Anna the sewers are no longer a secret, effectively surrendering my personal hunting grounds. I don't want to choose either option, but when it comes down to it, I suppose the latter is a preferable one. Turning the city on its head will introduce an element of chaos, and I'm not sure what the repercussions would be. I also don't want to get angry high-level Plaguebringer on the loose. Nah, frick the guy. I'd rather take him down out of sheer spite than allow him to succeed. Pinching the bridge of my nose, I release a deep breath. Damn it, how did it come to this? I've become so reliant on the sewers, I really can't imagine proceeding without it. I need to come up with a way to grind levels without going down there. Sure, I could still use them, but then I would need to expect to run across an occasional player every now and again. Sooner or later, that would result in my death. I sigh once more as I shake my head. There is no need to worry about it right now. I'll come up with something. I always do. Right now, though, I really need to use a break. Maybe go for a run. It's been some really hectic days lately, and I'm mentally exhausted. First of all, though, I need to finish what I started. I need to notify Anna. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, Hey Anna, how you doing? The response comes almost immediately. Anna Allwindrider writes, Hey Ryan, Grin, I'm doing great. Just wrapping up a quest and then I'll head back to town with the gang. How's it with you, winky face? I was afraid my sister scared you off the other night, lol. Ryan Ornstaberton writes, I'm good. Your sister looks like a handful, but I can tell she cares about you a lot. You're lucky to have her. Anna Allwindrider writes, Yeah, I know, but she can be a little bit too much sometimes. Anyways, you want to meet up later? We'll be back in town in around 2 hours. The gang really wants to meet you, since Bryan can't seem to keep a big fat mouth shut about a single second. Want to join us? Drinks are on Bryan. I smile while shaking my head. The girl is way too optimistic and carefree. She's a lunatic, but at least she's a nice lunatic. She deserves to be treated better, though. I feel kind of rotten for just stringing her along with a lie. She's been nothing but nice to me. Even giving me a few gold coins when I just started. Yeah, I should probably pay her back. It just sucks the gold so damn sparse around here, though. And I have that damn Plaguebringer to blame. He's really messing with my livelihood here. What's even more annoying is that I won't even get a chance to loot all the valuable ingredients after Anna and her crew kills him. I'm pretty sure that they won't even leave behind anything of value. Hold on a minute. Why do I have to surrender both my hunting grounds and his stuff? I may not be able to end the guy myself, but I'm sure as hell can rob him blind first. There's only one of him and nearly a dozen of me. Robbing him shouldn't be too hard. Hell, if everything works out all right, I might even be able to disrupt his entire plan. I've watched enough cartoons in my life to know the sensitive magical concoctions tend to blow up once you add the wrong ingredients. Shouldn't that be possible here as well? I don't see why not. I only need to separate the plague bringer from his cauldron for a few minutes. Should be easy enough, right? Ryan Orn Stabberton writes, yeah, I can probably meet you guys. I came upon a lovely little restaurant around the southeastern corner of the Mosket district. Do you know it? Anna Elwyn Ryder writes, no, but we'll find it, no problem. We'll meet you at 5 a.m. then. Ryan Orn Stabberton writes, sounds lovely. I'll see you there. Anna Elwyn Ryder writes, it's a date. Grin. My plan is coming together. I don't really know of the restaurant around the ad area, but there probably is one. The market district is quarreling with them, and I'll be really surprised if there isn't one nearby. The main reason I want them to be in this particular location is because that's the sewer entrance that's closest to the plague bringer's lair that's in that general area. If things go well during my little heist, then I'd rather have a punishment squad close enough to bail me out at a moment's notice. But damn, I only have 2 hours. I really need to make this count. I have a lot of preparations and planning to do. First of all, I have to... My thoughts are interrupted by Ulfa clears his throat in exaggerated vigor. Oh crap, I completely forgot I was still in his shop. If you're done zoning out, boy, then I've got to leave my store. You're interrupting my business. He grunts, scowling at me. Ah, crap. Sorry about that. I'll leave, I say, nodding curtly, and start making my way towards the door. Before I can reach the handle, Ulf grunts one more. The organization really appreciates your assistance on this matter, boy. I was told to inform you that we'll contact you in a few days to have a little talk with you. Ha! What? Meet me? I asked, raising my eyebrows. Yes, now get your ass out of here. I have customers waiting. With that, Ulf shoos me out the door and slams the door shut behind me. Blinking, with a dumbfounded expression on my face, I move my head slowly from left to right, looking up and down the street. What customers? The next hour goes by in a flash, and I spent a few minutes pondering what Ulf meant by a meeting, but I ended up just postponing that particular headache for a later date. If it's about the Silver Saints, then it's probably nothing to do too dangerous. Hopefully. To prepare for my daring heist, I start by heading north to the Crafters District to pick up a couple new schematics. I can probably make do for another while with the basic schematics I already have, but more powerful schematics will lead to more powerful traps, which is exactly what I will need in the near future. I also swing by the alchemist shop on the way back, purchasing an assortment of oils and potions that I already know will be effective for what I'm about to attempt. Utilizing traps has become a linchpin of the majority of my battles so far, and I would be wise to keep practicing my craft. I have a million things to organize, so it almost feels like a godsend that I managed to acquire myself a fully functioning secret lair. Gathering my resources in a secure place is never a bad idea, and I can shave valuable minutes off my preparation this way. On my way back to my shopping spree, I decide to visit an inn to cancel my rent agreement, as well as picking up my poisoner and all the valuable resources I left behind. I have to say, I'm rather happy that I'll no longer have to rely on using inns as a safe zone. They are definitely not secure areas, and I risk losing everything I've stored in there if I delete my character or forget to pay the rent. Securing everything at a hidden location that I own is going to relieve me of most of my fears. Safely tucked away in my hideout, I start producing as many glue traps as I can. They have the most effective traps I can use during a mission, and I will certainly need a lot of them. I'm not going to try out any of the new schematics as of yet, since I don't really have the time to experiment with the new, but it will definitely come in handy sooner rather than later. I also throw quick orders to Cobra while I work. Since this is a mission where speed and deception is priority number 1, I decide to have my underlings only equip basic equipment. The chances of my underlings dying are high, and I don't plan on doing the actual combat. I'd rather get the mission over as quickly as possible without risking most of my expensive stuff. While I work, I spend a lot of time considering what to do with my recent level up. With my recent epiphany about the glaring faults of my combat strategy, I've been spending a considerable amount of time trying to think the best way to develop my character going forward. I threw my strategy of creating a powerful and balanced fighting force right out the window, and I now need to figure out how to fight as unfairly as possible. Focusing on using traps is a good start, but the majority of my fights always come down to my underlings in the end. I regret recruiting this many thugs, but that's a minor worry. Sooner or later, I would have needed more of them anyway. It's never too late to change tactics. Gaining a new sword and a ring has positively affected my stats, and I have gained a considerable amount of charisma and luck. I've already had enough points to recruit another underling, and I'm only 3 points shy of getting my second. I know I had decided to invest most of my future points into luck, but it's hard for me to prioritize buffing my skills when I can gain 2 more underlings in one go. I should also consider putting a few points into endurance, since I've had a few close calls lately. In the end, though, pragmatism triumphs, and I dump all 3 of my new attribute points into charisma, raising the stat to 65. Making these kinds of decisions is not easy, and my next one is getting any easier. Allocating my attribute points is child's play compared to allocating my newest skill point. There are still so many skills that I would like to get, and my recent change in tactics only further stirs the pot. Initially, I was planning on capping out all my essential class skills as they are remarkably more powerful than anything else available. Now though, the picture has become a bit more unclear. Considering my recent change in tactics, development paths that I had previously discarded as unnecessary now look much more appealing. While I am perfectly content on taking a back seat during all of our engagements, I still wish I could do more. Throwing out a few illusion spells only gets me so far, and I should really think about expanding my new spell repertoire. There are several different lesser schools of magic that are available to me, and I do have a few interesting ideas. Sadly, none of them are achievable for me only with a single skill point. I do, however, know where I will focus my future efforts. Right now, though, I should probably pick up a few more essential class abilities. I bring up the list of the Thief Lord basic abilities that I've yet to acquire. Gang Up. Gain an increased damage when fighting 3-1 by 0.5 luck plus 0.5 times skill level. Bail. All troops escape and evade. Evasion increased by 1% multiplied by skill level. Movement speed moving away from enemies increases by 2% multiplied by skill level. Duration 30 seconds plus 0.5 seconds per skill level. Cooldown 60 minutes minus 15 seconds per skill level. Rush increases movement speed by 0.2 luck plus 0.2 times skill level percent for 30 seconds plus 0.5 seconds per skill level. Cooldown 20 minutes minus 5 seconds per skill level. Disarm makes underlings disarm an opponent. Chance of success 0.5 luck plus 0.2 times skill level per underling. Stackable. Cooldown 5 minutes minus 5 seconds per skill level. Bountiful. Increases the yield of successful jobs by 0.5 luck plus 0.5% times skill level. Incite Crowd. Causes NPCs to actively distract and obstruct enemies for 0.1 charisma seconds plus 0.1 seconds per skill level. Cooldown 60 minutes minus 15 seconds per skill level. Cheat Death. Upon taking fatal damage, clears all status effects and turns invulnerable for 0.1 seconds per 0.5 luck and instantly heal for luck plus 5 times skill level. Cooldown 24 hours minus 5 minutes per skill level. I once again taken the raw power of Williamson's arsenal. These abilities only appear more powerful every time I see them. They are all powerful in their own way, and selecting just one of them is incredibly tough. If this had been the me of yesterday choosing, I probably would select Cheat Death in a heartbeat. I've been putting it off for far too long already. The problem is, there are so many other appealing options. Both Bountiful, Cheat Death, and Incite Crowd are all good options, but they are either not immediately helpful or too situational to depend on to be of much use, especially in the short term. No, I have to stay true to my choice. I want to fight like a coward, and to do that, I need mobility. Both Rush and Bail have great potential. Whereas Bail is more overly powerful, while Rush is more flexible. The decision is tough, but I ultimately decide to pick up Rush. The ability to run away is highly valuable, but running after someone can sometimes be just as important. Yeah, I know. My arguments for not choosing cheat death on the 18th time are growing thinner by the second. I have a skill book now, so the skill finally has some good merits. The problem is that I always end up having more immediate need of something else. Surviving a deadly strike means little if I can't escape afterwards. I have a lot of skills geared towards defending myself. Almost all of them are more versatile than cheat death. My philosophy is that only the really powerful enemy are capable of one-shotting me, and cheat death wouldn't be enough to survive against a high-level player if I were to meet one without any way to get away afterwards. High-level players are faster than me, and I know I will get more value out of choosing Rush. I promise myself that no matter what, my next skill chosen will be cheat death. Cross my heart and hope to die. I rub my temples as exhaustion is starting to set in. Really, I shouldn't be making these kinds of decisions right now. It's amazing I can even manage to finish assembling these traps. My exhaustion is so severe. I even had to start making the individual parts of the trap separately, which I'm sure would have caused Odin to pop a blood vessel if he ever found out. Just one more hour, and this will hopefully be over. End of chapter. Chapter 50. Stuck. Hey cuz, this grind is boring as crap. How about we take a break for a couple hours? Kevin yawned, stretching his arms above his head. Squinting his eyes at Kevin, Greg frowns. We don't have time for that crap. We just reached level 10, and Arya demands that we reach level 15 by the end of the week. Geez, we'll make it even at the short break. Don't be such a nag. The human paladin sighs. Greg's jaws clenches as he bites his reply back. It takes every single ounce of willpower he's got, but he manages to keep himself from bitch-slapping the brat for 2 weeks now. We don't have any time. The mobs will only grow stronger from here on out, so our leveling speed will slow down remarkably as soon as we reach level 11. Kevin groans as he keeps prodding along. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't given all our gold to that little crap earlier, he mutters just loud enough for Greg to hear. Greg's eye twitches as he spins around, glaring at Kevin. You're blaming this crap on me. We wouldn't have been in this mess in the first place if you hadn't angered the guild leader with your idiocy. Need I remind you that joining the guild was your dream, not mine? Chill, cuz. We'll get there. We're the heroes of the guild at the moment. Arya won't kick us out for taking a little break. You seriously think that we're heroes? What the frick? We're the goddamn jokes of the guild is what we are. If we don't prove our worth now, we will be marked as the two most incompetent players in the game. We wouldn't even be invited into a casual social guilds, so quit your complaining. We can rest when we reach level 30. Without waiting for a reply, Greg spins around on his heel and stomps onwards. Kevin's constant whining is starting to get on his nerves, and he's one stupid comment away from logging off, walking over to his cousin's house and giving the little brat his arse-whooping that of a lifetime. Take care of your cousin, Gregory. It'll be fun, Gregory. We'll pay for your subscription if you play with him, Gregory. Family is important, Gregory, he mutters to himself. His fist clenches as he repeats the words, further souring his own mood. Why does he have to take this crap? He swears as soon as he makes enough money to pay for his own subscription, he'll ditch the little crap and first chance he gets. Frick the consequences. The pair traverse in silence for a few minutes until they head into an alleyway up ahead. There should be an entrance to the Harvest District sewers around here somewhere. Look for it. Greg grumbles as he heads deeper into the alley. This place is a maze of alleys, and the map that they received from the guild is inaccurate at best. One would have thought that the guild would have been properly scout the entrances of the hidden grinding zone beneath their very own city, but Greg isn't going to question it. They're on thin ice enough as it is. He sighs. This grind is as boring as hell. Grinding is slow work, and it's only marginally faster to level up this way rather than taking on a frickload of quests or grinding in a low-level dungeon. This place doesn't even make any sense. Why would the developers create a leveling zone that doesn't have any quests associated with it? Drops crap equipment, and no named monsters that gain renown from. There's nothing to gain down there except experience. Hell, the only reason that they're even down here is because of the other leveling zones are stacked full of other players, and this place at least offers a decent amount of monsters to grind for easy experience. If they had to share this place with other players, it wouldn't even be worth it. The only reason to bother going down here is to level. You certainly won't get rich or have a great time doing it. Hey, I found it, Kevin shouts from the adjacent alley. Greg grunts as he heads towards it with his voice. It doesn't take long until he finds the younger cousin crouched over a metal hatch hidden in a alley behind a bakery. Last chance to take a break, Kevin says slightly while grinning. Greg resists the urge to step on his hand and just limitlessly moves over and starts descending into the sewers. Psh, you're a dwarf, cuz, and I get that you like role-playing, but being grumpy isn't going to work out when you're picking up the ladies later. He chuckles at his own joke. As soon as they're both at the bottom of the ladder, Greg equips his shield and mace. Right, according to the guild, there should be some zombies and ghouls down here. They have a lot of health points, but our holy magic should give us a decent damage boost while fighting them. We should move carefully, as I doubt our perception is high enough to spot any traps down here. Ah, don't worry about it. We're both paladins, which is basically two kick-ass undead killing machines. We'll hardly break a sweat. Kevin laughs as he strolls ahead, pulling out his two-handed hammer as he does. Right, Greg mumbles while rolling his eyes. He takes a breath, trying to calm his already ruined mood before he follows Kevin down the dark tunnel. The pair move slowly down the corridor, carefully hugging the walls and peeking around every bend in the tunnel. It only takes a couple minutes, but they soon come upon the first signs of life. Or unlife, as it were. They just pass the T intersection and carefully skulking the tunnels ahead. They can hear some loud moaning sounds from around the bend and the tunnel up ahead. And it sounds exactly like what a zombie in the game should sound like, according to all the gameplay footage that Greg has looked up online. It's annoying that they don't know how many mobs or what levels they are, though. Okay, listen up. Let's sneak as quietly as we can up ahead and try to kill one of the zombies in a surprise attack. Zombies move slowly after all, and we should be able to almost kill one of them before the rest can react. Kevin sighs. They're only undead, cuz. Let's just charge in and do some smiting, paladin style. He smiles, caressing his large hammer. Greg clenches his jaw, taking a deep breath. Let's just find out how strong they are first. If they're easy kills, then we'll do it your way during the next pack. Deal? Whatever you say, cuz. Let's just get this over with. Greg takes point and slowly makes his way down the dark tunnel. He takes extra care not to rustle his chainmail armor too much. Not that it matters. This is still a game, and some things just don't follow real-life physics as we know them. Players wearing heavy armor are never meant to be the quiet types. Hugging the wall, he slowly inches his way forward. He soon finds himself peeking around the corner. There are 3 shapes ahead of him, and he quickly inspects them. Dark Elf Zombie, 10, HP, unknown out of unknown. Human Zombie, 11, HP, unknown out of unknown. Feral Ghoul, 12, HP, unknown out of unknown. Buggers, he mutters before he can stop himself. The 3 monsters turn their heads, locking their black eyes upon the dwarven paladin. We've got incoming, he shouts while taking a step backwards, raising his shield. That is all he manages to do before the ghoul is upon him. A sickly grey undead is unnaturally fast, making it difficult to strength-based paladin to keep up. The ghoul lashes out with his long claws, scratching shallow cuts into the shield with every strike. The forceful blows cause Greg to stagger a little, but not enough to make him fall. Ghouls are tough opponents to beat, and it nearly is impossible for a regular level 10 player to face it one-on-one while being 2 levels behind. Luckily though, Greg is not alone. Lights hammer! Kevin shouts while swinging his hammer in a horizontal arc. The skill-enhanced weapon briefly illuminates the dark tunnel before it impacts the ghoul in the shoulder. The powerful blow, enhanced by a holy energy, rips the sickly grey flesh apart, causing the ghoul to shriek in pain. The ghoul is forced backwards, reeling from the blow. Greg releases his breath as he finally catches a break. The 2 zombies stumble forwards, raising their rusty iron weapons threateningly as the dead gazes fall upon the 2 paladins. Take down the weaker zombie quickly. I'll hold the ghoul at bay, Greg shouts as he channels his holy energy into his shield. "Lights guard," he bellows, slamming his shield into the human zombie. The zombie is knocked backwards, the flesh igniting the holy fire when its shield hit. The strike was only meant to buy a pair a little time, as the ghoul was already back on its feet, launching itself towards Greg once more. This time, however, Greg had better prepared. Igus! His body is illuminated by a golden glow, forcing the nearby undead to take a step back. The ghoul shrieks in pain as it tries to shield its eyes from the anathema. Greg charges forwards, taking advantage of the ghoul's hesitation by slamming his mace at its head. The strike connects and the ghoul is knocked to the side, dazed by the powerful blow. "I'm not done yet," Greg shouts, lifting his mace to another strike. Sensing an incoming attack, the ghoul takes a wild leap backwards, determined to escape the dangerous light. "Ha ha ha ha! Take this, light's hammer!" Kevin shouts with glee. Greg takes a second to glance over his shoulder just in time to see Kevin's hammer connect with the Dark Elf's head with an overhead strike, crushing it to a pulp. Kenwin Smite Man 10 has slain Dark Elf Zombie 10. Gain 20 experience. "That's one down," Greg smiles. Fighting undead as a paladin is much easier than it would have thought. For a second, he thought that they bit off more than they can chew. It's easy to kill high-level undead, though. They should be able to join the goal by the end of the week, with a whole lot of time to spare. Greg's smile falters as his Igus skill runs out. The retreating ghoul turns back towards him, releasing a menacing snarl. "Ah, frick." Greg assumes a defensive stance, raising his shield to cover his upper torso while bending his knees slightly to absorb the force that'll undoubtedly come to the ghouls resumes its onslaught. He's not wrong when the 80-kilo undead throws itself at him, swinging its claws with reckless abandon, each strike more powerful than the next. "Holy crap, I think I made it angry," he shouts, putting his full attention onto blocking the strikes. "Hold on, I need a minute," Kevin shouts from somewhere behind. Greg doesn't dare look back, not unless he wants to risk having his throat ripped out. Greg grits his teeth as he absorbs blow after blow. He is slowly being pushed backwards, getting ever closer towards the T intersection. Every second that goes by feels like an eternity as he struggles against the ghoul. His Iger skill only has a minute cooldown, but during combat, a minute might as well be an hour. "Damn it, this isn't working," Greg mutters, trying to come up with a way out of this. His mace is completely useless when it is being pushed back against like this, and even though he manages to absorb most of the blows, some damage is still trickling in from the pure blunt force of the ghoul's strikes. Deciding to sheath his mace, he braces his shield with his elbow while placing his now free hand in his chest. "Quick heal," he says, golden light gathering around his hand. He releases his breath of relief as the health bar slowly trickles upwards. Having access to holy energies offers some much-needed utility for a heavy fighter like a paladin, and no one is more resilient when it comes to drawn-out fights. "Are you done yet? I could really use some help with this thing," Greg shouts, putting all of his effort to try and push the ghoul back. "I said hold on. Damn it," he curses beneath his breath. How can he deal with this thing? It's just so damn fast, not giving him any time to counterattack without leaving himself exposed. Perhaps that's what he needs to do. I hate this part. Greg re-equips his mace and quickly starts to channel his early energy. With effort boosted by his willpower alone, he pushes forward with his shield, putting his strength a tribute against the ghouls. With a pure brute force, he shoves one of the ghoul's claws aside. This leaves his torso open for the attack from the other claw. But Greg doesn't give a damn. The ghoul's claw slashes across his chest, cutting past his chainmail and into the soft flesh beneath. A spike of pain shoots through his body, but he is ready for this. He swings his mace wide, aiming for the overextended ghoul's body. "Lights, hammer!" he bellows from the bottom of his lungs as his mace emits a golden glow. The ghoul is unable to react to the reckless attack of its opponent and takes a blow to the head, the holy energy burning its skin as its jaw is ripped off its face. The ghoul is writhing in pain while scrambling backwards, clutching his wound. Greg decides not to push his attack, choosing to rather turn and try and help Kevin finish the second zombie. Greg quickly backtracks, throwing himself at the zombie's exposed back. He hits the zombie in the back with the full force of his dwarven bulk, knocking the zombie to the ground. Capitalizing on the assistance, Kevin lifts his hammer for a powerful overhead strike and quickly aims to finish the zombie's life. The powerful strike connects, and the zombie's head explodes in a shower of gore. Kenwin Smiteman 10 has slain human zombie 11. Gain 30 experience. Nice timing, cuz. Kevin grins, hefting his hammer to prepare to fight the remaining enemy. You took too long, Greg grunts, getting back to his feet to face the ghoul. I need to heal. Can you take him for a second? Without waiting for a reply, Greg quickly backs away towards the T-section. The ghoul is seriously tough. Too damn tough. Perhaps they should grind another level back in the shantytown before attempting this. His foot tugs on something and he reaches to the center of the T-section. He doesn't get time to even look down before he hears a faint click sound above him. He looks up at the thick white liquid pouring down from the top of him, trickling his torso. What the frick? He raises his arms to protect his face, but it is already too late. The liquid is fully covering his torso, and he can feel the sickly liquid restricting his limbs. What the? Is this glue? He shouts, trying frantically to get the liquid off of himself. Hey, cuz, I could really use some help over here. Kevin shouts desperately from down the corridor. I'm stuck. What do you mean, stuck? Get over here already. I'm fricking trying, aren't I? Greg grunts, trying to forcibly pull the glue off his armor. The glue just sort of gets everywhere, locking the metal plates and shoulder pads with his gauntlets. Frick! I can't hold him. You need to tank him, Kevin shouts, swinging his hammer wide to force the ghoul back before he turns around and starts sprinting towards Greg. What are you doing, idiot? Hold him, Greg shouts, as he still struggles to get his arms free. With a grunt of effort, Greg manages to free his left arm, freeing up his shield, and it's not a moment too soon. The ghoul is already upon him, slamming his clawed arms into his shield, battering the short dwarf to the ground. Good job, cuz. Just keep him still for a moment, Kevin says while stepping forwards with the hammer raised. Suddenly, something slams into Kevin's back, causing him to stumble forwards. Spinning around, Kevin finds himself face to face with a muscular half-orc covered in leather armor and wielding an iron short sword. What? What are you stopping for? Freaking keep moving, you dimwit! An unknown voice shouts from down the tunnel. The half-orc immediately complies and brushes past Kevin. 4 similarly dressed enemies approach behind the half-orc, each and every one of them sprinting as if their lives depended on it. Seeing the approaching enemies, Kevin's eyes go wide as his panic sets in. Oh crap, Greg! It's another thief lord! We have to run! He screams while turning on his heel, sprinting down the tunnel past the ghoul and in the opposite direction of the oncoming enemies. Wait, what? Don't you fricking dare! Greg screams at him. It's barely too late. Kevin is already halfway down the corridor. Still on his back, Greg struggles to keep the ghoul away. But to no avail. He tries to roll away, but the glue keeps his body stuck in the ground. I can't believe he fricking did it again. His eyes are drawn towards the approaching footsteps. He tries to inspect as many of the enemies as he can before he dies. Half-orc thug 10, HP unknown out of unknown. Halfling prowler 10, HP unknown out of unknown. Halfling thief lord villain 11, HP unknown out of unknown. Oh my god! Greg's eyes go wide as he inspects the last one. His shock is short-lived though, as the ghoul is still battering him from above. The thief lord is coming towards him at a rapid pace, and his jaw drops as the thief lord sprints past him, followed by the half-orc down the hallway behind him. Why didn't you finish me off? He mutters to himself, while simultaneously trying to keep the ghoul from tearing out his throat. Why were they running like that? His sight is turning foggy as he feels the health points starting to redline. For some reason, it looks like he suddenly finds himself inside a green mist. What the hell? You have been afflicted by blight. You take 30 damage per second for 20 seconds. You have died. End of chapter. And that, my friends, concludes this patch video. If you enjoy the story, please don't forget to go and show the author some support. And if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below. The easiest way to support this channel would be to subscribe and share as much as possible to help this channel grow. And I'll see you all in the next video, and until then I hope you all keep well and safe. Cheers.